Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store, and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Monday edition of the Mike O'Mara Show. I will tell you that there are multiple layers to this show today. There are so many different layers of me that I think it's going to be a confusing show for some people. But everybody's going to have a little something in this show that they're really going to enjoy. That's just my prediction.
A layered cake? Is it like a Mexican layered dip? What is
It's a layered dip today.
Nice.
I think it's a layered dip today because there's so many things that that I need to share, that I need to purge with all of you, because I had me a weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. I truly did. I had a wonderful weekend with 24 hours of extreme discomfort. That's the way I can describe
in a row?
it. But just a 24-hour period where I was... Well, I'll be tipping my hand here a little bit, but I can say it. 24 hours of recovery is that
because
that's
when
what
you
was,
came on when you came on the system today, you sounded dynamite. Like
I am dynamite. I've been thank God for returning on Saturday from where we were going. Friday nights, going down somewhere and coming back is that's the way I like to do it. It's fine for me.
You didn't overstay your welcome.
Well, I wouldn't have wanted it. It wouldn't have been any good to me to overstay. But I'll get to that later. Because because I will be sharing a story that I am not proud of. That my behavior is something that I just I don't like it when this happens. It's happened in the past. It probably shouldn't be happening at 55. But because of that, I thought it necessary to humanize myself a little bit, because people might just say, "Oh, what a jerk," when they hear this story. They might hear that story about me and say,
"No, you know what?
Say what a jerk." Just like when Oscar tells these stories and they say what a jerk.
No,
they're going to say what a jerk.
That's what you think they're saying, Mike. But really, what they're saying is, "I'm rooting for this guy."
Yeah, well, we'll
and
see.
when
We'll
I
see
tell
what
them,
happens.
people are like, "Oh, when is he going to grow up?"
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, this is true.
And when I tell the story, they're like, "Oh, when's he going to die?"
I know, and now we've gone full circle, haven't we? We've gone for full circle. Happy Monday. And so to humanize myself, I thought I'd start the show on a sweet note, on a loving note, on a wonderful,
that'll be good.
Great note. And I have to you today brought you some audio of my 21, soon-to-be 22-month-old son. And you know that I said a long time ago, even before I had children, my favorite sound, next to goats, of course, is
goats do rule.
And it's a
child,
close second.
a baby laughing, a child laughing, a small child or a baby laughing. And so I give to you now. Pardon my breathing, because I have my little deviated septum, and I'm also still extremely overweight. So you hear a little bit. But I'm tickling my son in this audio, and you can. And sometimes when I record on one of these condenser microphones, you can hear.
Sure.
And I'm like, I said, what the hell is that? And Carla, like with a big twinkle in her eye, looks up at me and says, "That's you breathing."
I think it's just isolated audio of the house settling.
Right.
We need to just ignore it.
Well, so with that incredibly long setup that was really totally unnecessary, I present to you 60 seconds, roughly 58 seconds, of Michael William being tickled by his father, and I think you might enjoy this. Please enjoy. Hear the breathing?
Oh, yeah.
Look at those eyes he's giving you. This Mad Max eye.
Jesus, that was a little loud, too. My own levels are messed up. But there it is.
Now, do you
there
ever
it is,
tickle to the point where they're laughing, but they look like they really need it to stop? Because I remember,
all the time. You always go to the wall with that.
I remember that my aunts and uncles would tickle me until it was murder.
I have a question. Were you running while you were tickling him?
Tickling him on the treadmill.
I had just come up 12 flights of stairs, and I began to uncontrollably tickle my son. That's it. So that is bad. I tell you, when I'm going through just the nose and I got my mouth closed, it is a struggle. No wonder I have to put that mask, that oxygen mask on myself every night. It's ridiculous. So with that said, on with the show, and it'll be another Mike O'Mara Gets Drunk story coming up next on the Mike O'Mara Show.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
How do you know this place even exists?
I was born there.
So why'd you leave?
I didn't. I was taken as a child. Stolen.
You done this before?
Many times. Now that I drive a war rig, this is the best shot I'll ever have.
And them?
They're looking for hope.
What about you?
Redemption.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his office chair, here's Mike.
I don't know how Rob grabbed that audio. That was from the old Mike O'Mara Show back on WJFK.
That's right.
Conversation, pre-show meeting between me and Beth Ann McBride.
That was
really, really terrific.
She never did find that redemption.
She never did. Going to church all the time. Coming to you live from the Cappy Pfeiffer studio in the heart of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the Mike O'Mara Show. We are on the air, online, worldwide. We are a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners on the planet because they get it, and if you're here, you do, too. Our show today brought to you by Sleep Number. You know, you used to sleep well when you were a little baby, when you didn't have all the stress, when you didn't have all the job issues and relationship issues. Well, I'm going to tell you something that might surprise some of you. I still sleep like a bambino thanks to my Sleep Number bed. I've told you about Sleep Number for years. You can come into a Sleep Number store, the only place where you will find Sleep Number beds with Sleep IQ technology. What is it, you ask? I'll tell you. Why? Because they want to hear. No, they don't. Yes, they do. Shut up. I'm talking.
Dom DeLuise for Sleep Number.
Your Sleep Number uses the dual air technology inside the bed, and Sleep IQ tells you exactly how to have the best sleep of your life. It's fantastic because you get to set your own firmness. So your partner can sleep on one side at one firmness, and you can sleep on the other side at your own firmness. Okay, Mr. Man?
Sure.
Nothing to wear, nothing to turn on. All you have to do is sleep. My Sleep Number setting is an 85. Carlos is back to a 65. Hurry into a Sleep Number store where you can save $500 on a Sleep Number Memorial Day special edition bed with Sleep IQ technology. No better sleep. Find your Sleep Number setting today at any of the 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. You can find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. And don't forget to lay a finger aside of your nose, just like Santa. Nobody likes a skinny Santa. And tell them that Mike O'Mara sent you, and we thank you for that. So everybody have a nice weekend. Everybody enjoy themselves.
Yeah, and I know you have a story to tell, but I've got something chomping at me right now.
Please.
Because Oscar had to pull a parking fast one to get into the studio on time that involved Pony.
My valet.
Yeah, Oscar parked in a spot. I won't say what kind of spot. It might have had a blue picture on it, might not. But
fabulous, by the way, for background, fabulous building in our nation's capital on Wisconsin Avenue. Really, Oscar handpicked this location with a beautiful spot for our studio. We couldn't have it any better. We have great neighbors up there. It's a beautiful spot. It's really in the middle of the city. It's fantastic. We're excited about it. Parking, absurdly inadequate, as it is for so many people that work in our nation's capital, which speaks to the whole infrastructure thing that was on 60 Minutes. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But parking is a nightmare for that building. It's
so
terrible.
Oscar came in as he always does. He thrust the door open. He said, boom, bam. And he said to Pony that I need you to move my car in a moment, so please do that. And Pony said, I'll take care of it. And so he handed him the keys, and then Pony sat down and proceeded to not move his car.
Well, he said wait till the show starts.
I said wait till the show starts.
Okay, well, then after about 5 minutes, Oscar said,
maybe we should go.
Not loving the idea of a $500 fine. If
Right.
you could hit record and go move the car, that'd be great.
Yeah,
So
a
Pony
lot of
went
people.
out.
A lot of people get their prescriptions in the morning too. So
Sure,
that's
and
why
people
it's
are buying greeting cards and Russell
Yes.
Stover chocolates and all
Yeah,
the things
water.
that you need to go there for.
nail clippers,
Yes. Oh, my little stuffed animals.
tiny stuff, cotton balls. Let's not
Yes,
forget those.
Of course not.
Little things. you know?
So then Pony comes in and he smiles. That Pony smile and he says, "Something happened." So, but
what are
we're
those
in
little
the-
chocolates that Jolene White sells? You know that's
Lindt chocolates. I
Lindt,
believe.
Lindor truffles, right?
Yes,
Aren't they?
nice pull.
Lindor truffles. I hope I got that right, Jolene. If I didn't, please.
Is it
I'm so sorry.
Linquist?
No, it's well. I'm thinking Lindt is another brand, but that's also what you find on your shirt.
Yeah.
Lindt.
So, Lindt is another thing.
I think it's
Lindt.
Lindor.
I think it might be
Lindor.
I will.
I think
You know
it
what?
is.
I know. I'll do.
It's
a
just
pic-
adding to the things you get at a drugstore.
These are all great. And Mike, of
Right.
course, Mucinex D.
Yes, Mucinex D,
yeah. I need
fantastic.
one of
Very,
those
very
Good,
important.
good stuff. A heating pad.
Oh, you know what, Mike?
I'm sorry, I just spitballing.
A
here,
foot
you know?
bath. A
Oh,
wonderful,
wonderful
foot
stuff.
bath.
Yeah, very, very good.
Placards
All
are
sorts.
huge.
Oh, and if you've got the beaties, Lord knows you got a
it's
whole
like
you got a
Christmas
whole
Day.
row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else you can get? You can get extra large pill organizers that has a container for every day. So
Right.
what happens? Like, what is today? Today's Monday.
Yes.
You pop open the thing that says MON, and everything's in there.
It's like an event
You
calendar.
can get a plastic beach bucket for the kid.
Oh, but that's seasonal. But
Oh, yeah.
But you know, later on, in
Might
the year,
be mine down here because we have so many beaches and whatnot.
You can also get Christmas lights. I know that there's a great Washington D.C. souvenirs. Do you want a statue of a picture of the Washington Monument that when you shake it up it snows inside?
They have
got
that
it.
at a regular CVS?
Of course they do because they cater
Really?
to everybody.
Okay, so what
Oh,
happened
and
after
all
that? I
manner
lost
of
my
chewing gum.
Oh yeah,
But,
Well, no, not all manner of chewing gum.
Oh,
no,
I don't
no,
know.
no,
Pretty
no,
good
no.
down there.
It's not pretty good would be the operative term there. I don't think there's any place that has all manner of chewing gum. I don't think it exists.
Well, in any case, that's
Yes.
neither here nor there because
It's
Pony has a
not.
fabulous story to tell.
Yeah, so you know what else you
By
can
the
get?
way, by saying that, I just
You think he'll ever get a chance to tell it? That's that's the question I'd like to know because, by the way, has happened 16 times since this setup
I
began.
doomed
Yes. By the
myself.
way, what is it? What happened?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What?
You can also get parking tickets there.
I got a parking ticket?
Well, almost.
Oh,
Let me
thank
see.
God.
Let's see here. I was running down the stairs and I saw a police officer pulling up into
The ramp?
up onto the garage.
Oh, thank God.
And so I sprinted
my
outside.
God.
I ran out there.
Yes.
The cop cracks his door open, and he's getting out to look at the car. I hit the unlock button.
I think we need
I'm
the Mission
sprinting out of
Impossible
breath.
music if we
Yes.
have something
Yes.
like that. So wait a minute.
So-
you came down the elevator. The elevator
ran down
opens.
the
Then
stairs.
there's another series of steps that goes down to the street level, and you see the cop beginning to trundle up the ramp up to the CVS parking lot.
You got it. And as he's eyeing the Mercedes,
You got it.
He's
No,
eyeing
you
the
got
car.
it.
No, you got it. He sees the car.
Yeah, and he looks at me. I hit the clicker,
Yeah.
and he realizes, okay, that this must be his car. And
Yes.
he says, "Is this your car?" I
Yeah.
said, "Yeah." He said, "You don't look handicapped." I said, "Officer, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
My boss is an asshole."
Is that really what? Did you really say that?
Yes.
Did you really say that? Tell me the cop smiled. Please
He
tell me
did.
the cop
He
smiled.
smiled. He said, "All right, I'm gonna let it go this time." Hops back in his car, drives off. I got
That is so great.
Honesty is the best policy.
It really is. And I really am.
Oh my God,
Thank you,
that's
Pony. Appreciate that.
fantastic.
Well done.
Oh,
Yes.
Good job. Good job to you, Pony. Well
And
done.
Mike, this just in from our research staff. They are Lindor truffles made by Lindt. So we were both right.
All right, very
So
good,
there
very
you
good.
are. But you
Hey,
can get 'em
before I
over there.
tell you about my weekend adventures, let me just say that Rob Spiewak's done a really nice job with grabbing us some guests lately, and this week is no different. We are going to be joined by some television history makers.
I'm excited about both of these guests.
One of the great classic comedies of all time is known as Laverne and Shirley, and we're going to have Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley, who will be joining us on the show tomorrow. We're very
studio,
excited.
Mike,
She's going to be in studio. What is she in town for? Anything special?
Yeah, she's written a book,
Okay.
Shirley You Jest, and it'll be available soon. As a matter of fact, I was only able to get galley copies of it, so I'll be looking at that tonight. But we'll get the skinny on her career. And remember, she goes back to the movie American Graffiti and has had a great long-time career, and she knows everybody, so it should be fun.
That set, apparently, from what little I know, and I'll research it tonight a little bit, but apparently that set was pretty much pandemonium. A lot of weird crap going on the set of Laverne and Shirley.
I read the book by Penny Marshall.
Right.
And it wasn't quite the happy set that Happy Days was. It was a little different across the hall at Paramount.
And maybe some drugging, and humping and all that good stuff that happens on a dysfunctional cast.
I look
with a
forward
TV
to see
show.
who had the most time with Carmine.
Now, who is the guy that's on Better Call Saul that plays
Michael
Saul's
McKean,
brother?
and he played
What's
Lenny.
his name?
Michael McKean played Lenny of Lenny and Squiggy.
Michael McKean.
Ah, yeah.
And
Michael
you know what?
McKean's had a very consistent, funny career after Laverne and Shirley. He's like a character actor that's done a lot of good
I think
work.
he had a season on Saturday Night Live. He's in all the Christopher Guest movies and a lot of acting. And, you know,
I recognize him.
David L. Lander, who played Squiggy, also did a great amount of voice work, but he got stricken by a disease. I'm thinking it might be MS. I'd have to research it. So
Okay.
he actually
is he no longer with us?
I believe he is still with us, but not working. But the
Okay.
thing is that he, even after he was unable to walk, he was still doing voice work.
Wow.
And a great voice actor too.
Wow.
So
Then
I
on
look forward to
Wednesday,
finding that stuff out.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have Alan Coulter, the announcer for Late Show with David Letterman, and that's going to be
Big Red.
so much fun because to catch him. My God, what emotions must he be going through realizing my life is over? No, that's terrible. But I mean, we'll have Alan Coulter, who will be here to talk about the final show.
Yes.
And you're going to get that on Wednesday, and that's the last night of Letterman. So, I mean, that's just incredible. And I know you were probably pretty psyched to get that from that confirmation from CBS. Nice to have them
very
do
pleased.
something nice for us once in a while.
You know what? It's the same lady that was dealing with us when we worked with CBS. I think this is the first guest we've ever gotten.
Oh, that's great. That's
5 years later.
It only
fantastic.
took 11 years.
You know, just to talk about Letterman again, you know, I'm all over the place catching middle of the last week shows, and you know, it's kind of like the way people listen to this show, all over the spot. But you know, watching just some great television with Julia Roberts and you know, and George Clooney coming out, and then you know, musical performances like from Tom Waits. I had no memory of Tom Waits being as funny a guest in the chair as he was.
He was
and
fantastic.
He is fabulous, man. So it's really going out with people are bringing their A game, and I would imagine for, you know, you don't think about the staff that much, but Alan Coulter's the staff, and it must be tough for some of those people. You know, there's some of the people that haven't been with him that long. You know, it's kind of a sad situation.
Did you happen to see Norm Macdonald stand up on Friday night?
I did, and you know, the
really
last guy
got me right here.
Did you get a chance to look at this?
Oh, no,
Oscar?
you guys know that I'm a Fallon guy. So,
Yeah, he gets up early and looks at Fallon on the YouTube.
Thanks.
If you
for that.
listened to last week's show with who was it
Tom
called?
Shales.
Yeah, when Tom Shales was on, I sat there. I said, I can't ruin this for them. I can't ruin this for them. I'm not going to say a single thing. I'm just going to listen. Riveting.
Well, you do know Norm Macdonald because you know Norm's
I know
podcast.
Norm.
That's
I've
a modern
actually,
thing that he does.
Mangrates has advertised on Norm's podcast before.
Yeah, I think Norm's got a great.
Do you like the seared meat? Is it good?
I think Norm's got a really, really good podcast too. I
Yeah.
like that because he brings his pals on out there in Los Angeles, so it's a lot of fun. Norm got completely verklempt at the end, and talked about being a kid in Toronto and seeing Letterman do stand up, and got completely emotional at the very end. Something you would never expect him to do, and it's great moments like that because
sweet.
I feel the same way. I can't put into words what this is representing to me, but it does in a way. This is the end of this form of television. I think a lot of people are starting to get hip to that. This classic kind of talk show. Kimmel still does it a little bit, I think, you know.
But
Kimmel
think about all the
still is
viral
more-
videos. It's like he's setting up for, that's why he's winning. You know, it's because he's setting up for what's going to be playing on every morning show the next day.
Yeah, but Kimmel will have good exchanges with guests. Whereas Fallon will do stunting with guests.
Small
but
bits.
Doesn't Kimmel have occasional? I mean, I don't watch as much as I should.
Yeah.
Kimmel's got more of a exchange with people on the couch, doesn't he?
Also, he does the man on the street work that Leno that Leno did.
Well, Leno-
so it's
Right.
fun. It was fun.
Leno was the first nail in the coffin because Leno became about the stand-up and the interview was an afterthought. And Leno never, until his last day, Leno was still a horrible interviewer.
Yeah.
And it was just never comfortable up there. And you know what? They can have occasional exchanges, but whether it's an old lady or a war veteran or a hot celebrity, Letterman could make someone comfortable on that couch regardless. And that's what's dying.
It's very exciting for us to get a little peek behind the scenes and talk to Alan Coulter. And Rob, for the whole time I was up in New York, I was thinking to myself, I never got a chance to go into the Ed Sullivan Theater. Always seemed like the weeks we were up there, he was dark, didn't it? It always seemed like
I got to it once. You
saw the show. You actually went to the show one time.
It was a Thursday night, which means he does 2 on Thursday, and then they air the one
Everybody
on Friday.
does.
And
I think everybody does.
Everybody
very common.
does.
Yeah.
It's extraordinarily
I
common.
like it. It gets me in trouble on Friday. That's for sure.
But
yeah, go ahead.
It was an amazing thing. It takes about 90 minutes of prep work to get in and watch the show for an hour, and then they shuffle you out right away. But everything they say is true. That theater is like 55 degrees.
Really, that
and
cold?
It moves at a rocket ship pace. What happens is when they go to commercial, Paul and the band is playing. And by the way, Paul and the band sound as good live as you would hope. But then on the video monitors for the exact amount of time as the commercial break are visual gags being played the whole time to keep the audience pumped up, like stupid pet tricks, stuff they've done on the street, stuff you don't
I didn't
need
know that.
audio
Okay,
for.
very cool.
But they do that. Letterman comes out and does the warm-up. There's an initial warm-up, and I think ours was Eddie Brill who did it, who's a comic friend.
He's the main guy. He's the main guy there.
I think Coulter
he's a talent booker, actually.
I think Coulter does it now, but when I saw it, Eddie Brill did the warm-up. And then Letterman came out, did like 4 or 5 jokes, and he always does a joke that he'll reference back in the monologue that isn't funny when you're watching on TV, but it's funny because you saw it in the warm-up.
Right,
And
right.
then you're watching the clock, and when the second hand hits 5:30:00, he just basically points at Paul, the music starts, and Letterman walks off the stage.
So he's out there and then he walks away and comes back that quickly.
It is.
There's not downtime between the warm up and
it
I didn't know
happens
that.
right away. And
That's
then
cool.
And then he comes out and he does the show.
Was he doing the sprint across the stage when you were there?
No, he wasn't doing that yet.
Okay.
He was just making his
It's probably
entrance.
pre-heart surgery. That's why.
And the thing that was so funny about it is that when I watched the Thursday show, the warm-up jokes for the Friday show were in the Thursday monologue. So he swapped the jokes out. So he recycled his comedy. So
that's
I already
very cool.
knew them before he
That's
told
cool.
them, which was really neat. A couple things. I remember the guest I saw, the A guest was Brooke Shields. She was on promoting Cabaret. And the thing that surprised me is that the studio cameras, when they do the desk piece, when he's sitting at the desk, they're really low. They almost shoot up at him to make him look, I guess, bigger or more powerful. But you would think that when, you usually see the cameras when he's monologuing, they're at about 6 feet. I would say that when he's doing the desk stuff, they're down at about 3.5 feet. It's really a peculiar thing to say.
Are the guys standing off the stage to get these? Is that how
No,
they're
they raise and lower, and so when they do the transition to the
They're
desk,
just standing over the cameras and doing
the
it that
monitor
way.
sort of looks up at them.
Wow.
And it really,
cool.
that 60 minutes that I sat and watched him, it felt like about 20. And the thing that was so cool for me is, this was long before there was any thought of it being over. So, it was great to see Letterman, but I was also in the Ed Sullivan Theater, and you feel the history when you walk in there because it is a beautiful theater. And when you go into the lobby, they have framed pictures of all the talent that has been on that stage, and it hits you really hard that you are among a place where greatness happened for the last 60 years.
It's
just
television
it's
television
a great,
history.
Great thing.
I've always been curious, where exactly does Alan Coulter sit if you're looking at the stage?
All the way stage left. Like there's an
Okay.
exit over there, and one of the questions I have
Which
for
would
him,
be to the right of the audience
Mhm.
as you're looking at
there's
it.
like an exit over there, and he is right
Okay,
by
so
it.
if you're looking at at Letterman, he's to the right of Letterman, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, very cool.
He has his microphone cord coiled 1 billion times around his mic boom, and I want to know why. It's always bothered me. But if you look at a picture of it, his mic is very, very odd. Oh, and the other thing
I
is
watched the Shawshank Redemption when they did that with Alan Calder the other night because I knew he was coming on the
his
show.
Shawshank when he escapes.
Where they show the poster, Oscar. They show the poster over where his announcer booth is.
Yes.
They say, Dave, I don't know where he is. Well, can you poke around over there and see what happens? And Biff goes in and he puts his hand through the poster, and you see a hole. And then they
that's
do this
funny.
whole bit with Alan Coulter's tunneling out of the
best.
Late Show. Really funny.
So great.
Very funny. 2006, I think they did that.
The other thing that's worthy of mention of when you see Letterman, the entire audience, now it's gone now, so I don't know where they would do it. There used to be a big ballroom across this 53rd Street called Roseland that dated back many, many years. They would march the entire audience into Roseland and give you a pep talk about how if you make any noise and try to call attention to yourself, you'll be escorted out. And then also from dead silence, the guy that was the coordinator just started going to see how long it would be before the audience started clapping along with him for applause. He says, "You're going to be responsible for applause. You're going to be responsible for laughter. You're part of the show." And it was just like the Larry Sanders Show. He says, "The better you are, the better Dave's going to be." And I was dying. It's so funny, but it's really a crowd mentality, and they march
Very
you
cool.
around like a field trip. It was a
So
great
Wednesday, the
experience.
last show for Letterman, and Alan Coulter will be our guest. So that's Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley, and then Alan Coulter, and then we're going to have Oscar's guest sometime in the next couple of weeks. Get somebody that wears a tight suit. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with more fun and more thrills. I'll tell you a nice drunken Mike story. Oscar likes those. When we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
By now, you are more than familiar with all the guys at TMOS. Your host, Mike O'Mara.
We won't get any older and we won't ever die.
Audio mastermind, Rob Spiewak.
Es lebe die nationalsozialistische Bewegung! Es lebe Deutschland!
And our favorite Bolivian, Oscar Santana. But are you aware that each week our boys do an extra show just for you, the dedicated listener?
Oh, you can't say that.
I don't give a I know I'm losing, and I want everybody to know.
Playing the rules.
I don't care about the rules.
All you need to do is go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and click on TMOS bonus packages. If you can't figure it out from there, well, perhaps you don't get it.
The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show, because 5 hours a week just ain't enough. Always available at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, this portion of our program is brought to you by SiteLock. If you're somebody who is responsible for your company's website or IT security, or you work with people who do, please listen to this message. This is very important for you guys, and I think you can help some people here.
Yeah.
How much would it cost your business if your website went down? Would you still have a job if you let hackers get into your website? It's not a matter of if, but when. It's happening all the time. Anybody that's ever been hacked can tell you that. I was one of them.
Sure.
SiteLock is the name of the company. SiteLock. SiteLock. They're the global leader in website security, and they make your website fast and secure. SiteLock's true speed content delivery increases your website speed by 50% on average.
Wow.
Who wouldn't be running a business and want that? Plus, SiteLock's True Shield firewall blocks both network and application DDoS, or is it DDoS?
It's
I'm
DDoS.
not sure.
DDoS.
It's DDoS, right? It's DDoS. That's why I do not run my company's IT security.
That's what
They block these attacks with automatic triggering, which means your site stays up and running even during an attack, and nothing beats their 24/7 U.S.-based phone support. Don't be the next company that's in the news for being hacked. You may not recover from it. Call or visit SiteLock.com, and please do it today. SiteLock currently protects over 5 million websites. Shouldn't they protect yours? To get your first month of SiteLock free, just go to SiteLock.com, click on the banner in the top right-hand corner, and enter TMOS. That's SiteLock.com. Click the banner and enter TMOS, or call them right now at 844-598-0600. That's 844-598-0600, and we thank you.
Yay,
Okay,
SiteLock.
so little getaway, our last Florida getaway, because we're heading up north, and wanted to head back down where we hung out with Oscar. Not all the way down to Key West, but to the Florida Keys. We love the beauty of that part of we haven't really learned about this state yet, but that's a place we just love.
And
it's
the
so
Keys,
beautiful.
that is the southernmost portion of Florida, right?
Yes, and
Called so because
really,
they sort of project out from the land like Keys, right?
I think so, and just spectacular scenery, and
It's gorgeous.
the watercolor can't be described. And
Is it
we
green?
Said, it's so blue. It's so blue. It's purple. It's brown.
Well, sometimes the color. I mean, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Your people would call it azul.
Azul.
It's so gorgeous
His
and
people.
just a cool place.
Turquoise.
Jesus Christ. So we head down and we check into this joint. I'm not going to mention names here.
No-tell
'cause
motel.
I don't feel like it, but the no-tell motel we booked, I know a lot of people have been victims of this. And
so a reputation preceded it?
It was not what it appeared to be on the website. I think everybody's been through that at one time or another. So we get down there, and I think that what I was told is I wanted to go fishing the next morning. And I said, so I guess I should probably book that now. I said, I just want like a $40 party boat. He said, don't worry, you can book that when you get down, and don't worry about that, and you can go out. So I didn't do it, and then I booked the place online, and we get down there, and we check into the room. And I can tolerate a lot of things with a motel room.
Sure.
What I have a little trouble tolerating is the baseboards that were painted were curling up because the place was such a rat hole that they and it looked like I swear to God, if my kid was crawling around, it looked like he might be able to pick a piece of paint up off the floor. But it didn't matter. I was still going to stay with it because, I was down there, and then I go down and I call the front desk. I said, now, you'd mentioned that I see somebody at the hotel for, getting on a fishing trip. I said, oh, no, you go to the dock. And the dock was right underneath where we were. It was on the water. It was very cool.
Perfect.
We were overlooking the marina.
Question
you could
about
smell
the
the fish.
Mike, well, that might have more to
It
do
was
with
really-
the hotel
it
than the
was
locale.
nasty.
But
It
a
was
question about this place that you stayed in. Again, we're not mentioning it by name. Do you feel that there was joy in the front desk's voice when they said, "We don't do that. You have to go to the dock"? Was it the kind of helper that loves to send you elsewhere?
No, she was actually cool. I felt sorry for her at the end of the deal.
Good, good.
Because
That's good.
we sat there in the car. Carla went in. When Carla went in, there was an older couple that was there, and they were checking out. They had just checked in, and they were checking out.
Oh, dear.
I didn't know
Checking
that,
out?
I didn't know. No, like checking out of the hotel.
Oh, good.
It's not what we saw. This is not what was represented. I didn't know that 45 minutes later, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing.
Man.
That's how pissed off I was. So we were over there, and they send us over there, and I said, I'll be getting in about 6 o'clock. We actually got in about 5:30. She said, well, you can just go over there, and they can book. We go there, and there's the sign on the door that says closed at 5 o'clock. And so thanks for that. So that's the second thing. The room is crappy, and then the little sign. Then I said, okay, well, look, let's just go over and get something to eat. And we go over, and we sit down, and the place it's just nasty. It's nasty, but at this, we're still saying at this point, we'll hang in there. I said, I know we're going to be here for for the night, but it's just ugh. And I said, I'm so sorry, and I'm apologizing to Carla because I did all.
You did the booking.
Looks good in the picture. It looks really, really good in the picture. We sit down and we said we'll order some dinner, and we ordered dinner. They said we need a high chair. They bring one high chair over. It's broken. They bring the second high chair over. It's broken. At this point, the restaurant doesn't have any high chairs. And she said, well, you can just put him down. I point to the railing where there's a 3-foot break between the railing that goes off the pier into the ocean. I said, probably not a really good idea. So I'm holding the spider monkey. 20 minutes goes by, and they have to shuttle down on a golf cart this other high chair that they have there. We bring that out there. Oh, thank God, finally it's here. We sit down, we put him in.
Guessing what
it's broken.
The third golf, Mike, the third high chair, what? In the repair shop? Because it's elsewhere?
It was somewhere else, and it was broken.
God.
They've blown off 3. They don't repair them. And I said, we're done. We're done. I said, I can't do it anymore. We're out of here. It's too much. I was apologizing to my wife. I said, well, look, I hate doing this when you're in a land far away from home, but we'll wing it, and we'll figure it out, and we'll do something. I know it's getting to be 6 o'clock at night. He's got to go to sleep in about a half an hour. We'll figure it out. Everything after that turned beautiful. Everything after that turned out to be a break.
Good.
Because the one thing because the people at this place were, I know the high chairs were busted and the room sucked, and the other people right in front of us had canceled because they had the same thing. But the people there were actually really, really nice, and so I felt horrible, but I was pissed at the place in general.
I understand.
And the last thing that the waitress at the one place said, "Look, go down the street about a half a mile. There's a nice place to eat, and they have high chairs." She was a sweetheart. I said, "You're very kind," and I gave her a tip, and I got in the car, and we venture off with the little guy, and we sit down, and one person at this restaurant we went to, it was incredible. She said, "I will find out if there's a place close by, a backup place you can stay. There's a really nice place down the road. I know a person there. I can get you a rate."
At the hotel they did
At
this?
the restaurant we went to.
Oh, at the restaurant. Okay.
And she knew it, and she said, she comes back to me and says, "Listen, I got you this rate, but you're going to have to say that I'm your daughter."
Oh, that's sweet.
And it was great. And it was great. So, and it was like lickety split, half a mile away. Everything works out. We check in. It's very, very nice. It's okay. It's A-okay. We're exhausted. We chill out, and we start our day on the next day, and we're fine, and everything's good. And they even had babysitting services for our second night there.
Fantastic.
Just to confirm, you're there.
Yes.
You arrive on Thursday.
We arrive on Friday.
On
we
Friday,
arrive
okay,
on
Friday.
and we get there on Friday, and on Friday night, we get there on Thursday night.
Okay.
And Friday night we are going to get a babysitter. We decide we're going to get a babysitter.
Sure.
Get up early in the morning, do a power walk around this property. It's beautiful. They have a fishing pole that you can go off the pier. I say, screw it. I don't need to go on a fish trip. I'll fish off the pier, no problem. I catch a fish about that big.
Nice.
It's fantastic. The little guy's happy. The pool. We're walking around. Everything's great, and
It's always Mike. It's always disappointing when the fish you catch is smaller than the bait you're using.
Yes. As a matter of fact, there was another guy on the pier that said, "Can I borrow that for bait?" And I gave it to him for bait, and he didn't catch his fish. But so we are sitting there, and when you're far away from home and it's the babysitting service, we go down, we talk to the person. We got great babysitters we use here. They're all background checked. They're very, very good. I said, "What are the age range?" They range from 21 all the way up to 60. They're fantastic. They're very good. And so I said, "You want to just do it? You want to do it?" And because we're really, when your kid's 21 months old, you're a little freaked out about that. We decide we're going to put him down at 6:30. The lady's going to come, and we're going to actually have. We are actually going to have, ladies and gentlemen,
an evening,
a dinner out without driving.
Oh, that's
We're going to be,
sweet.
which Daddy at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon starts thinking, well, that means only one thing. We're at the place, and yes, they have a tiki bar. Oh my God, they have a tiki bar.
Nice.
And there's some sort of like event going on, like a family reunion or a wedding or something, and there are all these younger people running around.
Sure.
And it was an I don't want to say it was electric boogie woogie woogie, but the atmosphere was very energetic,
energy.
fun,
Charged.
Great energy.
It was charged, and I suddenly got a little excited about the prospect of having dinner, but more importantly, and this is where I get into trouble, the idea of like after dinner, we were going to just go right next door and be able to hang out at the tiki bar.
At what point in the day, Mike, when you found out about the babysitter, you said it was about 3 o'clock. At what point in the day did you take out your hotel stationery and start drawing pictures of martini glasses?
It was dinner was fantastic. Moving over to the little tiki bar, immediately I was engaged in conversation. I mean, the kind of thing where you walk and I said, "Are these two taken?" And these guys were from some company going, "Are they taken?" "Well, now they are. They're yours." And I just immediately
What's
go,
your name?
and that's before Carla even gets there.
Yeah.
Carla arrives and like, oh my God, it's like
the
here she
water
is.
part.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, start the old 21-year age difference jokes. Come on, lay them on me. What is she doing with you? Yes, I know, and I. It's all new, so I can handle it. It's nothing I haven't gotten my entire life. So lay it on me, boys. It's fan. And it begins, and Well, we're gonna have to take a break here in a second, but I will tell you this: the problem is that it was my choice of adult beverage.
That's the problem, Rob.
That's the problem.
I'm going to register my guess now and lock it in.
Okay.
And then
All right.
we will see if I'm right, because I've had a drink with you in the past, Mike. I think I might know what happened here.
Okay. When I come back, well, I'll tell you what it was, and then what happened. It wasn't all that horrible, but for me it was.
All right.
And I'm lucky to be alive.
I can't wait.
We'll take a break and come back with more on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We are in love with Next Issue.
Yes.
We love it. Like Netflix for magazines. That's what it is, only it's better. All of your favorite magazine titles with unlimited and instant access, all in one place and right at your fingertips. It's fantastic. All the latest issues, even back issues, delivered right to your phone or your tablet. It is available for iPads, iPhones, Android tablets, smartphones, and one account can be shared by up to 5 people, so it's great for families too. Just go to nextissue.com/TMOS for your free trial. We all love it. Oscar Santana, you are digging it every single day.
Mike, I told you about car magazines if you're a motorhead, if you want to get into that. I've told you about business magazines like Fast Company and Business 2.0. They're great. I got into the entertainment section. I said, what do they have for entertainment? They have everything. They also have Entertainment Weekly there, and this month they have a great profile on Melissa McCarthy, which is everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you really wanted to learn more and you want a comprehensive look at her career and what she's all about and why she is everywhere and so successful, great article in Entertainment Weekly. I got it on Next Issue.
Did it have a nice photo spread?
Well, they had some great photos. It was solid.
Get to know her.
Little Melissa McCarthy. I can't help myself there. We all do love it. Over 150 of the most popular magazine titles. Here's what I want you to do. Remember, go to nextissue.com/TMOS and sign up today for your free trial. That's a $15 savings. A great deal, but it's only available if you go to nextissue.com/TMOS and sign up today. That's nextissue.com/TMOS. So back to where I was. We take you to the joint that I'm enjoying with my wife and child. We have had dinner, and we have dinner at roughly 7 o'clock, so this is probably 8:39-ish that we have gone in. And by the way, the damage I did began at dinner with the beverage that I chose. They stopped serving. I found this out. They closed, locked up, shut down at midnight. So I am able to do the damage I did in 3 hours' time.
Is this uncommon for a place in the Florida Keys to close at midnight? That seems early.
It seems really early.
Let me just say thank God they did. That's all I have to say is thank God. The problem is I was up at probably 5:30 with the little guy.
That morning.
And that morning. I'm up crack of dawn. I let Mrs. O'Mara sleep, as I do on the weekend, and I'm up with the little guy. The beverage of choice, you know how I've been talking about craft beers lately?
Yes.
That's kind of been my thing, to have these craft beers. It was an IPA. Is that an India? What is that? India Pale Ale?
Delicious beer.
More alcohol.
From craft.
Right.
So they have a higher alcohol content. So probably your average beer has, let's say, 4.55. These IPAs can get up to 8, 9, 10.
And Mike is used to beers that are in in the low 3s. He drinks the Miller Lite, and that's really
and the Ultra. I drink the Ultra too. And
Bud Ice, I think, had 4.5.
Oh, the ice beers. I like the Molson.
Yeah, so you're drinking almost like basically a mixed drink when you drink those sometimes.
Really?
Well, it's like closer to wine.
And I took that year. I took that year off too, right?
Yeah,
I took that year off.
And Mike,
you're making up for it.
You need to give me a buzzer because I guessed wrong. I guessed that you were going to be hitting the rum. I thought in a Calypso bar that you would be doing the pirate thing.
No, I mean I have not. I don't do what I used to do as much. I did it once with Oscar in the same part of the world. But even Oscar, we weren't.
No, we went home early.
But we went home relatively early. It was still around midnight that we went home, and it was.
Yeah, but you were drinking Miller Lights at the end of the night.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
It was just, but this was
You're getting to a point, Mike, where Miller Lite for you is like methadone. That's what you use to come down.
I thought beer was beer. I thought beer was beer. I really did think beer. I mean, it was bitter, a little more bitter and stuff like that. Yeah. So, I can't really tell you the conversations I had, but they were fun. and they were really nice people. And there were some guys with British accents that were there, and there were guys that were, I think, from New York that were there, and there were honeymoon couples that were there, and everybody was just so nice and friendly, and I don't know much else. There was one particularly attractive woman that was there, and she was at the pool earlier in the day, and everybody had kind of seen her, and then she was at the bar as well, and someone I know towards the end of the evening, this is sketchy for me,
sure,
brought her and her, I think, fiance or maybe her new husband, I'm not sure, over to me because they said I was in media. And as Carla put it, this is how Carla put it. She said, "Oh, so were you being bigger than you were?" I said, yeah.
Bigger.
Yeah, bigger than he is. And I said, yeah, I probably was because
I love the fact that, you know what, I know what we all do. We all know what we do. But
Right.
for it to get elevated to the fact that you're in media, that's pretty
Right.
good.
Media.
That was a craft beer.
Multimedia.
Craft
I don't
beer
even
fueled remark.
I don't know if I said I'm in media. It was just I said what I told people what I did.
Okay.
And so then that they came over and I was probably saying things like, I think you could be very successful in the business thing. It's like, and she wants to be in TV and stuff
Television.
Like that. But look, I don't remember much of it, but the next day there was a phone number in my pocket, and it had the name on it. And Carla said, so I take this receipt out because that next day I was wearing the same shorts, and it's very frustrating when you see the name that I that had been written down, and which I threw away. Of
course you did.
Was written down there, and I tried to recount it, but the reason that was a degree of difficulty is, let me tell you exactly how this went down.
Okay.
Please.
I remember conversations with these British guys, and then then it turned to be one British guy and me, and the bar was closed. I remember that.
So the bar was closed, and yet you were still talking to the guy?
Just chatting with the guy. And I remember my last trip to the men's room, I was a little wobbly, okay? I was a little wobbly, but I get the point is the IPAs were served in these big kind of beer stein glasses things that they have.
Tall guys.
And the alcohol apparently was still, affecting me even after the place had closed, and I had a little issue with getting back home. This property is where we were staying was at the back end of the property, and the tiki bar was all the way up on the beach.
Let me weigh in. I've had a few drinks in the past myself, and what will happen if you drink with purpose, especially if
I did. I drank
also,
with tremendous vigor.
It wasn't just the vigor in which you drank, Mike. It's also the fact that you had that midnight time limit, and whether or not you realized it, you were probably drinking against the clock. And when you drink something that is a heavier drink, say wine or an IPA, it continues to do damage even after you stop drinking, because
that's the best
you
part.
drank a lot, and then the absorption, it catches up to you. So you and I are good at drinking. It's not frequent that the wobbliness comes after you stop drinking.
Yeah.
But it can happen. It can definitely happen.
Especially with those craft beers.
Yeah.
I'm just looking. I'm reviewing my my texts here.
And while you look at your text, I do want to
Saturday.
applaud you.
My wife writes, "I'm worried. Where are you?"
Oh.
And I have the time.
And the time is
4:10
a.m.
4:10 a.m.
Sure.
Oh,
sure.
Well, that'll follow is what happened and where I was. This is.
But Mike, I just started getting worried at 4:10.
No, I think no. She went down to the place and was looking at. This is not a large place, but it's not a small place either. The nice thing is, the thing that saved my life is that the place is all fenced in.
Good, so you couldn't escape.
But there are paths and like walking trails.
Sidewalks.
Part of the thing about
wandering dogs.
There weren't that many sidewalks. There are walking trails throughout this property, and I know that I made my way back to my condo, and I did not speak with this guy much longer than the bar had been closed. But what happened was, the degree of difficulty I had getting back, I suddenly saw a chair sitting on my way back underneath one of these other condos that apparently was, thank God, unoccupied.
Right.
And I sat in it
just for a moment.
Just for a tiny moment,
just to catch your
take your breath.
Yeah, and I realize his surroundings.
Yeah.
And I didn't get the text. I know that, but I think at about probably shortly thereafter, maybe 10 minutes after. I can look at my phone.
Yeah, please.
Thing as far as when
it's like a treasure map.
Well, this is sort of like the movie Memento.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like Goonies, but in your 50s.
Which Goonie do you suppose he is?
No. He's looking for Chester Copperpot's treasure.
So he's not short round or anything.
No, it's about 45 minutes later. About 45 minutes.
But he's on
later.
his own adventure.
What is the outgoing? Does the outgoing call mean that means I called her?
You call.
Yes.
You call. That's outgoing.
So okay, yeah. So the incoming calls come at 5:08, 5:09, and then 5:14, and then that's the one I heard. And then the outgoing call was me calling her back.
You were particularly
5:16.
outgoing that night.
Yeah. What's the big deal? I'm trying to sleep here, lady.
So the 5:16 one was the wake-up call in more ways than one, and I got the wake-up call, and that's when I...
that's about what time you get up on a normal basis, so that's about right.
Yeah, well, it was... Oh, God, it was hell. It was, and so I made my way... I was still in a bit of a state that I had a little bit of... It's a maze. It's kind of like a jungle, and I'm finding my way. I ended up being about 50 yards from our hotel room.
You almost made it.
I almost made it.
Yeah.
I
So
almost made
close.
it home.
Yeah.
But I was extremely uncomfortable in my back because I don't think I fell. I really don't think I fell, but my knee hurt and my back hurt at the same
bruises?
time. No, I didn't have any bruises
Good.
at all.
Well,
but
that's
I
a
think
good sign.
I mean, I'm
You check
talking
your
about
shorts?
it had to be at least.
Everything
Yeah,
all right?
I didn't poop my pants.
No.
Yeah, and
I
that's
was
why
talking
I
about
was-
being violated.
Well,
No,
I was
no,
going to applaud you, Mike.
Perfectly reputable gentleman that I was checking.
I was going to applaud you because you
Turned
said
in earlier
you wore,
than I had.
You wore the same shorts the next day after a full evening of IPAs. A weaker man couldn't wear the same shorts the next day.
I know this is true.
There
Thank
might
you.
have been a moment of release.
Well, no, you know me.
Was there
I'm
a chair?
I'm cast iron that way. I am. I'm cast iron. I
Was
really
there
am.
a chair in front of your condo if you had only made it that much further?
No,
You
we were
could've-
on the second floor. We were on the second floor.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't have that, and so the only thing that happened is when she called me at 5:16.
Yes,
I got really scared. I got really upset because I was in that like awakening stage where I'm like, oh my God, oh dear. Oh,
well, and you
my-
also
my.
look. I've been here as well. There's no way to spin or actually convince the person that you've let down.
Yeah.
and that you've made really a nightmare of a night of. And you can't say, "Oh, I was hanging." I can't. There's nothing you can say.
No.
There's nothing you can say.
No, there's not because
No, that's not-
I have except the fact that I fell asleep and that's passed out.
That's true.
Question: When you
In a chair, sitting upright. I was upright in a chair, and this was not like a Adirondack chair or any other kind. This was sitting. This was one of those tiny little, wire chairs that you would sit in. It was not a comfortable chair, and it didn't matter for me. I was out. I was out with my head slumped, and I hear ding in my pocket. Ding. I'm like, oh my God in heaven! And I pick it out of my pocket, and I see 5:16 a.m.
When you picked it up, did you at least have that momentary bolt of I shouldn't be here adrenaline, so you were like alert for a brief moment?
Yes, totally.
Hello?
And then made my way back, and apparently that Carla said she had gone down to the front desk, and when she inquired, the reason that they weren't dealing with me is because there was another man. I don't think this was the guy who was talking
Silver
to.
alert.
No, because this was. Silver alert.
She wanted to put a silver alert out on you.
This man apparently had made his way back. He was off the property, and he could not be found.
Oh.
He made his way. He had gone off the property, and when he came back, he checked in, but he couldn't be found.
You
It was
mentioned,
there was a
Mike-
lot of celebrating. It's the keys, for God's
You
sake.
mentioned that
you know?
your compound, your Kennedy-like compound, was fenced in at any point
Yes.
at the bar.
Right.
Did you hear anyone say the only way out is by water?
All I know is that it was, Saturday was the day we were coming back home, and so it was very, very. Look, here's the thing: the only thing I said And hold on.
Oh, maybe it's that young lady.
Carla's worried.
Hold on just a second.
Who is it? He is sitting in a chair.
Carla.
Yeah,
It is Carla?
It's Carla.
Poor Carla.
Hey, honey.
Carla.
Hello? Yeah, I'm just I called by accident. She's FaceTiming me. Hi, how are you?
That's sweet.
Oh, did you call?
Look at how sexy she looks with her cool shades on.
Let's see.
Can you see
well,
that?
if you put it to the
There
camera,
she-
yeah. Oh, yeah,
wow.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Doesn't she look nice with those?
Now,
Hi,
Mike, did
baby.
you call by accident when you were trying to figure out what time the call happened?
I gotta go. They're talking to me. I love
ask
you.
her about the silver alert.
Yeah.
Oscar wants to. She's gone already.
Ask her if she was pleased or disappointed when she found you.
Or she.
She was sad. She was sad. So this
yeah, 'cause the
this
millions
made
are
her
gone.
sad.
She's
This
gotta
made
wait
her
longer
very,
now.
very sad.
Of course.
This is not the way a 55-year-old man should behave. I don't condone it. I don't recommend it. It's not a cool way to be, and it's not. There's no excuse and all that. And the thing is, there was only one thing I realized.
Yeah.
There was one thing that no matter what shape I was in, no matter how I felt after that kind of evening, I had to rally from that point forward. And thank God Carla was had been up a little bit. She wanted to take like a 9 a.m. nap, and that saved my ass. That saved me completely because we slept with the baby. The baby went for a nap. Carla went for a nap. I went for a nap. And then I got back up. And everything was hunky-dory, and I took my kids out. You can feed tarpon in the water down there, which is just amazing. It was a very cool Saturday. We got into the car to make our way home, and I just went,
You didn't
and
drive
crapped
home?
out the. No,
Carla
she drove the whole.
Well, that's
way.
I have a picture of Carla in the motel room 5-ish, right? And she can't find Mike. And you know those little Bibles and like the little Virgin Marys that they give you once in a while you can put in your wallet?
Mm-hmm.
She has the same type of copy, but for Mike's life insurance policy.
It was not.
So she
it was
pulls-
not
she,
cool.
she goes, okay, if he dies because he...
I know. I know.
Does this cover...
What happens,
You know,
Mike, is on one side is the policy, and the other side is a question mark and a smiley face.
Here's the thing. I pride myself on one thing. I pride myself on the fact that I'm somewhat of a professional and that I can handle these things. What I never done, I have never, ever been a craft brew guy.
Yeah.
I don't go
Maybe
for
you
those.
shouldn't go
I never
there,
have.
then.
And no, I'm not going there again.
Yeah.
No. I want my
ship
beer
has sailed?
to be watered down from this point. I want, or perhaps just water. I
Yeah,
think that would probably be the
because
best
you
idea.
you were really hot on this craft brew train because you had one at the airport and you thought,
Well,
this
it's
was your
Oscar's
new guy.
fault. It's Oscar's fault.
Yeah,
the
Oscar,
whole
what's
thing
the
is
matter with
Oscar's
you?
fault.
Why
It's
is it my
Oscar's
fault?
I don't know, because you guys like craft beers, and I listened to
they're
the Big
in
O and
vogue.
Duke show, and
Who
you did
doesn't
that.
like- who doesn't
And,
like them? They're
Well, they're
nice.
tasty. They're
Yeah.
tasty.
Not
I
a
just
big
didn't
fan.
realize they
You
had
don't
the
like
grain
craft beers at
alcohol.
all?
Not really.
Oh man, you would love them. Of all people, you have a
Yeah,
palate.
Rob, I would think you would
Yeah.
love that type of thing. That would be your bag.
You know what's weird is that a craft beer is so inconsistent. I mean, you can grab one and it can be fantastic.
Not according to my liver.
Well, you know what's going to happen. I'm just talking about the
it's
flavor.
inconsistent from season to season,
Right.
So you can enjoy, but there are different.
I never turn them down.
Different variables that you can look into.
But I don't think I'd ever be in the situation that Mike was in because I don't think I would ever go out and say, tonight's the night I'm going to drink craft beer.
Yeah.
I just
You know what
did
my
something
liver
seen-
my liver is saying right now? That craft beer is
The most consistent thing you've ever had. That is the most consistent buzz you have ever had in your life. It lasted for 15 hours. It's fantastic. More craft beer. More.
No.
Hey,
No, I'm
I
not
have a
doing it.
question.
Sorry.
Do you happen to have anything from the British guy's liver? I wonder if his liver would have an accent.
I think he probably was more together than I was. Because it's the same way that we engage people in conversation.
Sure.
It's the excitement of socializing with people that were younger and people that were having a good time, and it's extremely rare. I have led a virtually boring life down here, and I haven't been out and roaring around and doing that type of
Shot
thing.
out of a
And,
cannon. You were on vacation.
I was shot out of a cannon, and but I'll tell you, the 21 years junior, she can handle it.
Sure.
She knows that she's got to be functional the next day.
Yeah.
That's the way that works.
She's a mom.
And that's the thing. When she said to me, "I'm
You're
going
a
back to the
dad.
room. You stay and have a good time." And then I just
What time
then
did
I
she depart?
I don't know. I don't have any memory of that. I don't know.
Who cares?
I thought maybe you had a
10:30,
text.
Mike was
probably
raging.
10:30,
Sounds
11
about right.
o'clock.
Yeah, that
probably
sounds about
10:30, 11 o'clock. I did that damage like within an hour. It's like glug 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 glug. I love people. It's fun. I love it. I'm having such a great time. This is great. Where am I, mommy?
We've all been there.
Yeah,
Mommy,
we all have.
I'm in
We've
the
all done it.
jungle.
She
Problem
should,
is, you were playing with a gun that you were not familiar with.
Next
I'm
time
not
she
gonna do-
loses you, she should look in Find My Phone and find you.
She doesn't have to worry about it. She doesn't have to worry about it ever
No?
again. I took care of that problem. Took care of that on our way back. We stopped in Fort Myers.
What happened?
I'm wearing one of those medical call bracelets.
Oh, excellent.
That's it. So I've fallen. I can't get up. I've got a tracking bracelet on my ankle right
Except
now.
it's not I've fallen and I can't get up. It's I'm in a chair and I'm sleepy.
We'll take a break and we will come back with more. This is the Mike O'Mara Show.
It's Tony and Gary.
Hey there, boys and girls. I'm Tony Perkins.
Hi, I'm Larry Flint.
On this episode of the Tony Perkins Show featuring Larry Flint, the worst pop songs ever. You will not believe how bad these songs are.
We mean it.
We really do. You're going to cry with laughter. Or you might just cry. Anyway, we also salute David Letterman. It's all on this week's episode of the show. Subscribe at iTunes.
The Tony Perkins Show.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, CH Wine is truly something that is special for our listeners. They are loving it every single day. You're going to love it, too. I really want to say thank you to our listening audience because there's certain sponsors that you go absolutely nuts for, and Cameron Hughes Wine has been doing that ever since people became hip to it. They find the premium vineyards that have a little extra of their best wine. They buy the extra bottles, then they sell them direct to customers. Cameron Hughes allows you to drink the exact same wine that you'd find at expensive high-end wineries, but you're paying a lot less. The proof is in the bottle. CH Wine, perfect for Memorial Day, summer barbecues, and save some for Dad now.
Hey now.
Father's Day coming up. I recently drank Lot 425. Probably not what you want to hear after my last story, but it's amazing. 2012 Pinot from Central Coast Vineyard that produces extraordinary premium wine. I loved it. Everyone loved it, and it sold out.
Yep.
Except for a small reserve just for our listeners. Use the code TMOS, and you'll get exclusive access to Lot 425. This week only, get this extraordinary Pinot for 20% off. That's right, 20% off Lot 425, my new favorite, and free shipping. All you need is TMOS. Here's the only way to get this reserve sold-out Pinot at 20% off. You visit chwine.com, click the microphone in the upper left-hand corner, and enter TMOS. That's really a fantastic wine. You need to try it. chwine.com. Remember, everybody, quantities are limited, so if you want to get this fantastic wine, you got to go in there and you have to grab it right now. And I really know this, based on our listeners and based on my own personal experience, you will not be disappointed, people.
News.
Did you boys check out the Billboard Music Awards last night?
Peeked in a little bit. Yeah, Robert said, "Dad, you got a TiVo. Everyone's on it."
I can't believe they still have it on TV. Right?
Really?
Yeah, it's just these. Well, because.
How come the Grammys are so good and the Billboard Music Awards? It's because I'm old? Is that what it is?
No. It's just a third-tier award ceremony.
Yeah, and it's always been in general, but now even more so because you just look at the iTunes rankings.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah, Billboard really is not happening anymore.
No.
Billboard is a part of history, but not a part of the present.
It is.
No, they had everybody there. Taylor Swift kicked ass. She won like everything.
I was
almost.
so surprised.
But, who's the model that's married to John Legend? Tegan?
Christy Teigen.
Yeah,
Christy
and
Teigen?
she actually said, I get to host because I'm
banging
a famous guy.
A musician.
Yeah.
She was
and then you had
around,
Ludacris.
right?
It's like I said to my, I sounded like such an old man. I looked at my wife. I said, "Where are we culturally? Where this is all they can pull to host an award show?
Ludacris
and Chrissy
bona
Teigen,
fide star.
He's not a bona fide host. He's not a comedian. He's not funny. He's not. He doesn't bring anything to the table at all.
He brought a lot in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Well, you would say that.
Yeah.
Okay, Donald fucking Trump.
Hey, but Mike, I'll tell you this: there
God,
was nothing.
are we trying to entertain here? I would say basically the specs that I was looking at in business school said that he's brought a lot to that franchise. Let me get my calculator out and see what's going here. I'm trying to be funny here.
Mike, what I was pointing out is that you just aren't. You're not hip to the fact that Ludacris is a superstar.
Yeah, but
I know Ludacris. I know he's in the Fast and Furious. I wouldn't call him a superstar, pal. Not on his best day. Okay. I really wouldn't call him a super. Would you call him a movie superstar?
I would say that
he had a bit part in a franchise movie. That's what he had.
In multiple,
you would call Ludacris a superstar.
Well, yeah, and culturally, he's a superstar. He's got
back in the day. But I'm talking about where is it? This is the problem.
Yes,
I really think this is the problem. Where is the merit anymore for hosting a show?
That does not exist. Most people probably don't want to do it.
True. Yeah, but I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make.
For example,
here, you know,
would you say that Ellen DeGeneres is a great host?
Absolutely.
Would you expect her to go out and make a dynamic album?
No. But
so it goes the other way as well. He's a performer, and I'm sure he's a grand hip-hop rap singer.
LL Cool J hosting the Grammys.
But he's a better host. He's proven himself. He can
I'm just
host.
saying he's an actor. He has hit records.
And the ladies love
if you're
Cool
using
James.
if we're using LL Cool J as the barometer, that's another example of it. It used to be award shows were hosted by funny people that maybe had some decent writers and decent patter. The Academy Awards used to do. Nobody's doing it anymore. Now we're going towards getting actors that have funny little lines. And then you have Chrissy Teigen.
She's horrible.
And
Don't get me wrong, she is horrible.
To support what you're saying, Mike, when the Oscars tried this similar thing, they went with big movie stars. And was it Anne Hathaway and James Franco?
That was horrible.
And that was a disaster.
Yeah.
And yet they continue to have a very fine Hollywood acting career, but you just can't host. But it's a different skill set.
But the Billboard Music Awards, the MTV Movie Awards, MTV Music Awards, all these awards are hack shows. So if anybody that's worth their, I guess, salt to do it, like a Ellen DeGeneres or anybody else from SNL that really should be there, right?
They're not going to get him to come out.
They're not going to get him to come out.
Well, and I think that Letterman and Kimmel and those guys that have done this, there is a risk factor when you do this. So there's not the risk reward is maybe not worth it.
Not for
but
them.
also when I watch the Billboard Awards, and this is where the age thing, and I'm not hip enough to know that, but I happen to know what ludicrous is, and I'm not that old yet, but thank you. The fact that, but really culturally, when you talk about it, all I know is the Grammys was, in my opinion, a stunning talent-laden show that was one right after the other.
But that's the Grammys. This is the Billboard Music Awards.
And also, the Grammys has reinvented itself, and the Billboard Awards have not.
I'm shocked that it's still. When I saw it on, I flicked it on. I was like, they still have this on?
Might be good as a live stream.
Well, Taylor Swift won everything almost. One Direction and Iggy Azalea also won a few awards. Taylor won Top Artist, Billboard Chart Achievement, Top Female Artist, Top Billboard 200 Album, Top Billboard 200 Artist, Top 100 Artist. She won this, and the awards suck when you give them to one person. It's silly.
It is. It is silly.
And hey, here's something modern, top, Hot 100 song, top streaming song for Shake It Off.
Hey, and there you are.
So.
Excellent. A favorite here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
I'm going to do, and I'm not doing this except for illustration here. Bill Cosby sat in for an interview with Nightline Friday. I have not seen it, so I have to take the quotes from Cos, and I think to make them make sense, I have to read them like Bill Cosby.
I think that's a good idea.
They asked him pretty point-blank questions about the rape allegation. He answered with basic gibberish. The interview asked him if he was prepared to answer young people who come to him with questions like, quote, "Are you guilty? Did you do it? Are the allegations true?" Cosby answered, this is a quote, and I have to do it like Cosby.
All right, here we go.
"I'm not sure what they will come like that. I think many of them say, well, you're a hypocrite. You say one thing, you say the other. My point is, okay, listen to me carefully. I'm telling you where the road is out. I'm telling you where you're driving, you're going to go into water, and it looks like it might only be 3 inches deep, but you and your car are going to go down. You want to go here, or you want to be concerned about who's giving the message."
That's direct quotes from
The
Cos.
only way it could be less clear is if he did it like when he had the Novocaine in his lip in the dentist routine.
Right.
Then I'm watching. Then it's something.
Asked if he's concerned the allegations will get in the way of his message, he said, quote,
"I've been in this business 52 years. I've never seen anything like this, and reality is the situation, and I can't speak."
As for what he'd like his legacy to be, he said, quote,
I really know about what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have a ton of ideas to put on television about people and their love for each other.
Oh, my God. Let it
that's
go.
sad,
That guy's.
isn't it?
It's sad because, even after, what are we at? 30-plus women have come out against him.
Sounds about right, yeah.
You're in a space where you think things have died down and he'll stop doing press, but he's so blind to what's going on. And I sit there, Mike, and I don't know if it's just him. It's the people around him as well, correct? Because they're not stopping him.
I think it has a lot to do with him because he's always been a guy that's done a lot of press. And Mike, together we've seen his appearances on your radio shows sort of decay in how much sense he makes.
Well, there was one good one, and there was one where he was babbling, basically, and so he babbles. But yeah, there have to be. I think the people closest to him are enabling him because they're terrified and they're caught in a trap.
Rip the phone away.
Yeah, come on, Rudy and Claire.
It sucks.
You're not there anymore, jerk.
Mitt Romney and Evander Holyfield had their charity boxing match in Salt Lake City on Friday. Did you see any of the video from this?
Horrible.
No, I thought it was. I thought it was great.
Well, tell me.
I really did.
Okay. Great is not how I would. Let me tell you about Mitt. Old Mitt has has kept himself in pretty good shape.
We're on the same page. That's why I thought it was great. I was like, this guy's going to come out and he's going to be flabby. He was in for 65 for a 65-year-old.
Remarkably good. And that here's the thing, Oscar.
Really?
Yes.
That I watched the clip of it. I said, well, that's what this was all about.
Oh.
This is his.
I thought it was for charity.
Well, but he wanted to just show his boobs.
And you know what the worst
He wanted
thing
to
was?
show the world his cute little body.
I thought
that's what he wanted. I'm Mitt Romney, and I can take my shirt off.
I was so impressed by his physique. I was like, this got to be pec implants. Nobody can look like that at 65. I went and started searching.
But
that's what I started
the
looking
very
for.
worst thing about it was when he was coming out to. I think he came out to "I Will Survive."
Right.
The way his wife was mugging. I was hoping that Evander would punch her because
she was the one. Mitt, you have to. Your body your body is so beautiful. You should show people your body.
I don't
They're
think that's
so
natural.
But right away, and he did look phenomenal for a man his age with his shirt off. But at the same time, bye any presidential aspirations.
Oh no, I don't think he'll ever be president.
You could never come out and pull that kind of crap.
But he could be the secretary of pec implants.
So
that's a legend.
Mitt scored a knockdown. Evander took a dive for him, but still it's in the record books. Romney tweeted that they raised $1 million, which will help 40,000 people that are blind. That's
so they couldn't see the fight?
So they couldn't see his boobs.
No.
His mitt boobs.
But I bet after they all get their sight, he'll show his chest again. He'll go to each one of their homes.
That's the only reason he did it. I looked across and oh God.
Must have been a great audience.
This is an ego thing. He's doing it because he wants to show his boobs. Last year, Arnold Schwarzenegger raised money for after-school programs. A lot of people doing very good for charity, and I'm here to mock them all.
That's exactly.
Arnold did auction off chances to ride around that tank. We were talking about that last year to crush things. He's doing it again, but he's upping the ante. I would love to do this. This time, the contest has the not safe for work title, Blow Stuff Up with Arnold.
Oh, no.
That's exactly what you'll do. Play with massive explosives and lay waste to a variety of things. You get to bring a friend, and your travel and hotel expenses are paid too. You get into the drawing by going to omaze.com/Arnold and donating to the cause. The more you give, the more chances you buy where you just blow things up with Arnold.
Mike,
so that's very cool.
one gives me an idea for this show.
Yes.
Because you can get blacked out with Mike O'Mara.
Not again.
We could
Won't
do
be
something
you
like
know how
that.
long I take between those
That's
blackouts.
true.
We're going to need a second chair.
Maybe in 2016.
Right.
And then, two, how much would you pay for that?
I know. It's
Right?
fun. It's fun to just hang out.
Because
Especially,
you're working with TNT, I imagine, some explosive experts. You get to go around. You're behind the safe, probably blast-proof glass, and you get to just push the button.
It's crazy fun. Crazy fun as far as I'm concerned. A high school teacher in Hampshire County, West Virginia, made a deal with his students recently. If they did good work, he'd let them watch a movie. One of the students suggested 50 Shades of Grey, and apparently the teacher's been living under a rock for the past 4 years because he never heard of it. So last week he lets them watch it. To reward the class, the assistant principal walks in when the class had been watching for about 10 minutes. She recognizes the movie and shuts it down. The teacher didn't have a clue. I don't blame the teacher. Didn't know what he was doing. The school principal says, quote, "It was an extreme lack of judgment from an otherwise very capable teacher. He didn't do a background check on the movie or even ask about it. There's no word on what kind of discipline he's facing." Well, if it was an honest mistake, I don't blame the teacher.
But who wouldn't even look at the rating? You don't have to hear about it.
Did the kid bring the DVD in and throw it in?
Stupid.
Director's cut.
This is my mom.
My parents' copy.
And now a little something. There's a guy in his 70s who was in an assisted living home in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. The staff says he was, quote, a more mobile gentleman than the rest of the residents, and that gave him some advantages.
Sure.
One, he could drive, so he would go out, buy liquor, and sell it to the other residents at a profit.
Good
and number
thinking.
two, he would take his money and use it on hookers. When he was finally busted earlier this year, the authorities caught him red-handed. There was a prostitute hiding under his bed.
Oh, no.
He was paying to live there using a government subsidy from the county, and after they caught him, this is the sad part, they pulled it.
Oh, prostitute.
Hooker. Strangely enough, let me see. They pulled it? Well, that's the same thing the hookers did. Thank you very much. All right, we'll take a break. Come back with the Audio Vault and Rob Spewak right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Do you love your iPhone? Do you love your iPad?
All right.
Do you love your Android?
Nice.
Do you love your Nexus 7?
Did you play Atari?
Did you program the TRS-80? Do you love technology? We all
Thank you. Nothing.
We need a new one. We need tell Todd we need a new one. We need to get a new one.
Put the cork in the bottle and record one tonight.
How long has that been running? Just out of I think what probably a little longer than the ones we usually
Mike,
blow
I have
up,
it
right?
actually in the same folder as a vote for Truman promo.
It is time. We'll have to make a new cereal one.
And I don't do that just to blow that one up. I do that so we can get one of those new ones, especially if they're forced to do it.
Love it.
Those are the ones that really,
You
really
recording
are
tonight?
fun to listen
We're
to.
recording tonight.
Lay it down, baby.
We'll
Lay it down.
have a lot of Atari news.
Oh, that's good.
Exciting. Very good.
That's
All right, good
relevant
stuff.
from when that promo started.
No, there was an Atari documentary that was just released.
It's fantastic.
a lot of fun.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Hey, the bonus packages, they're out there. Please go ahead and get them. You get full access to all the 2015 bonus content, on-demand video access to every bonus show, access to the anthology, over a 25% savings, and a great way to support your favorite podcast waiting for you at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Click the banner marked TMOS bonus packages, and now you can even pay with a credit card, the TMOS bonus packages, because you, ladies and gentlemen, are worth it, and we would love you to get our bonus content. Let's open up the Audio Vault for Monday, May 18, 2015. Rob Spewak.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it that we lost B.B. King on Friday, and I think he is perhaps most relevant recently when he had the duet with U2, When Love Comes to Town. Great song. And remember, Mike, every time we went to B.B. King's club in New York, they always said the same thing.
No, it was in Memphis.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It was in Memphis, Tennessee. B.B. King's on Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee, and I spent a good long time in there one night, and every time you'd ask somebody, they'd say, yeah, B.B. might be coming in tonight.
We think
And
he's coming in tonight.
That was their scam. That was their scam. that
But
they had.
he kind of invented blues as we know it, and a wonderful, wonderful musician. Now, that was him playing with U2. U2 was in Vancouver over the weekend, and The Edge, living up to his name, fell off stage. I don't know if you saw this video.
Hysterical.
It's wonderful.
He is just so casual. He's taking this stroll as he's walking along, and he's got the guitar in his hand, and he just tumbles. It was amazing.
As did it remind you, as it did me, when in a Roadrunner cartoon, when Wile E. Coyote would actually step and wait for a moment before he fell? Anyway, here is concert audio of The Edge falling, okay? I'm sorry. Here is concert audio of The Edge falling. And I like shock then more. Yay!
Yeah, and he still
Bounce
hadn't
right
found
up.
what he was looking for in that particular case. The next step,
True enough.
the floor.
Now, on last Wednesday in Atlanta, a bus was going over a train tracks, okay? And the gate was up. They were obeying the law, but the car in front of them stopped. And they were not on the train tracks, just by the train tracks. No one was killed, Mike. There is someone who is still in serious condition, but I would be remiss if I did not play you the audio from a train hitting a bus. This is some amazing audio. The surveillance camera on the driver.
Terrifying.
It actually spun and hit twice. They are still looking for the pickup truck that stopped short. that caused the accident to happen. But our thoughts and prayers go to the man who's in serious condition.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that no one was killed.
You have to ram the car in front of you if that's a problem, right?
I would think so.
You just press the gas and F
Go right through.
you're
So
done.
you're saying they couldn't find the pickup truck? Was the person killed that was in the pickup truck? Is
No, the
that
pickup
it,
truck
or-
was not in. They were further away from the train tracks. The pickup truck
okay.
was the one that was preventing the bus from getting over there.
So they took off the people in the pickup.
And
truck.
I do believe that the bus driver made a judgment call because they were not on the train tracks, but they were close enough that they were hit. Scary stuff. On CBS Sunday Morning, still one of the greatest shows on television, they asked Letterman yesterday how he feels leaving television.
I'm naked and afraid. And it's so cliche, but I'll share it with you anyway. Any enormous uprooting change in my life has petrified me, really petrified me. But once I've come through the other side, the reward has been unimaginable. I can tell you the kind of feelings and emotions I hope will come of this, and that I'm looking forward to.
I don't think we're ever going to see him on television again. I think he's going to do the Johnny thing. I think he's going to do his final show, and then he's going to go to Montana, and I think that's it for him.
Yeah, and I think he knows that, and that makes it even more powerful. So it'll be fun to watch that last show, which I plan to stay up
Great
late and
audio.
watch.
Tonight is Tom Hanks. Always a great guest,
good.
so make sure you check it out. And we close, Mike, with one of your favorite television stations, KPIX San Francisco. Sometimes they censor their actuality, sometimes they don't. They didn't this time, so the beeps that you hear on this, I put in.
I mean, the bikes are not going to stop, but we certainly want them to slow.
That's horseshit. That's political bullshit.
And we want to apologize for that profanity you might have heard in that story.
Yes, and I love she says the profanity you might have heard.
You might have heard.
The two S-bombs that were at full volume there? Yeah, I think I caught that on the bounce. That is your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Monday, everybody.
Buddy, get us out of here. That's it. Another Mike O'Mara Show is come and gone. Be sure to join us again for more fun and more thrills at MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you want to send us a letter or a package, it's TMOS, Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia, 20177. To get your message or birthday request into the Wednesday mailbag, email Rob with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com. The Mike O'Mara Show relies on your word of mouth. Tell a friend or family member about TMOS and make sure they get it too. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara inviting you to join us again for another episode of the Mike O'Mara Show. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website, always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.